Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody is having a great day. I know you all saying, why you always in the car? It's because we always on the move, so I got to get in where I fit in. But I just have a quick topic for today. Oh yeah, please subscribe and please hit the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate the support. But anyway, it's going to be a quick segment, a quick topic. Really, I wanted to talk about understanding. You know, men and women, sometimes we don't understand each other. It's like sometimes we be on a different language barrier, shall I say, at times. I just believe that we just are wired different. But with saying that, I believe that understanding one another is very important in a relationship. You know, I think one video I talked about communication being important, but also understanding one another. I mean, because sometimes we can get one-sided and be tunnel vision when it comes to, okay, I understand where I'm coming from, but where you coming from, I don't understand that. So I think we sometimes just need to step back, put ourselves in that other person's shoes and realize, okay, if it's some type of discussion that we having and the other person, you know, is trying to explain themselves on a certain situation and the other person don't understand, sometimes we need to look in the eyes of that other person to get a better understanding of where that other person is coming from. You know, from in case, you know, just me and Jay, you know, it's times that, you know, I'm trying to explain myself to her or vice versa. And we kind of looking at each other weird, like, I don't get it. I don't get what you're talking about or whatever. So, you know, I think the both of us has tried to understand one another when it comes to the mental state, because sometimes, you know, we won't get it because we're not in that type of mental state of mind. Now, it's some things that's really off the wall that you be like, I'm not gonna get that, because that do not even sound right or correct. But it's some things or whatever that is not a right or wrong, and sometimes we have to view each other and be like, okay, let me look at it through the eyes of this person. Let me see what they're talking about, because sometimes we can get wrapped up into how we see things and we don't really look at the other person's point of view. And I think in a relationship, I think both parties need to do that, because then you have a clearer understanding of one another mind frame. You know, because like I always used to tell Jay, like, sometimes you're not going to understand certain things because you don't think like that person. So, you know, sometimes we have to go through the mind of a person, because it's always a root of why a person think the way they think. And so, you know, sometimes we won't understand it because you're like, what in the world that person was thinking about? And it's rightfully so. But at the same time, it's a reason why that person is thinking a certain type of way, or why they said this or why they did that. So just in any kind of relationship, whether if it's, you know, personal relationship, friendship, business wise or whatever, I think we just need to get a more clearer understanding of one another. So then we can literally have a better communication with one another. Because, you know, if you don't understand one another, how you going to communicate? It's almost kind of like speaking to somebody who speak Hispanic and you speak English. How y'all going to communicate if you can't understand what the other person is saying? I mean, it's the same thing as in any other relationship. You got to have a clear understanding of one another to have that type of verbal communication with one another. So, you know, it's just the way it is or whatever. And if you don't have that, then how you going to have that communication with one another if there's no understanding? So, you know, we just got to understand one another as for male and female, because sometimes we can be far off of one accord because we just two different beings or whatever. I mean, we all human beings, but when it comes to the female and the male, we wired differently in a lot of things. So I think it's more of just having an open mind and listening to a person and trying to understand their mind frame or where they coming from with any type of conversations that you all is having. So, you know, like I said, I'm not going to make this a long video. It was just something on my mind. You know, I'm gonna pop up with certain things like this. I'll be like, oh man, you know what? I think I need to talk about this. So, you know, y'all leave a comment in below when it comes to understanding. Do your man understand you? Do your woman understand you? Are they trying to understand you? That's another thing. It got to be a will. If you're trying to understand, because sometimes people is not trying to understand you at all. So then, you know, it's all for naught. So at the end of the day, leave a comment what y'all think when it comes to that or whatever. And once again, thank you for tuning in into my channel. This channel is to give you all value when it comes to different dynamics of relationships. So I just really appreciate the support. And once again, thank you. And one Lee's love language.